Hello and welcome to the Brother Sister Show. My name's Livia and I host the show with my brother,
Anthony.
Today is episode 33. I already forgot, you just told me.
It's episode
Um,
33.
There's so many. That's a lot. We're almost at 1 year unless we missed it.
No, I don't think. No, it was in June. It was either late July. I think it was late July, yeah.
Well, we'll check on that and see because I don't know what we could do for a year. Maybe we can have some guests back. Like we can do small little snippets of updates or something. I don't know. We'll figure it out. We'll do something cool. Oh, and to start this off, though, we have something new. So we have can you hit them with the Instagram and Twitter handle while I get something ready?
Yeah, we didn't say this last episode, but we still got 2 followers. We hit 69 for a while. But hit us up on our Instagram at Brother Sister Show and our Twitter at Bro Sis Show. Sorry, they're not the same, but they're similar, so.
Yeah, it like is honestly embarrassing. As somebody who works in social media, I hate it so much. But you got to do what you got to do.
Well, Twitter doesn't allow 15 or more than 15 characters for their username. So, I don't know. Bro Sis Show, that's like too many S's together.
The one that we have right now?
Yeah.
We'll figure it out. Let us know.
We really don't use our Twitter as much. So if you just go to our Instagram.
I told you, I was like, I'll do Instagram because that's, visual based and I do all the visuals, and you do Twitter because you have your dumb little jokes and you're like, you could do Twitter well. And so that's how you can kind of tell the disconnect, but we'll figure it out. I honestly forget that we have a Twitter.
Yeah, but, I don't know. I feel weird about posting now and in the world, but.
Oh yeah. I mean, the followers that we have is like steady. I mean, I would love to grow, obviously. But I think we have a cool little community that we've built. Speaking of that community, we want to connect with more on a more meaningful, a more like deeper level. So we're going to all meditate together. No, I'm kidding. We're going to have a Discord. So by the time this episode is out, it should be on our link tree, which is the link in the bios of like all of our social media, all 2 of our social medias. Yeah, I have no idea what Discord is. I've used it once as a test thing that we were trying, but from what I understand, it's kind of like Slack.
Yeah, but better.
But yeah, so we're gonna just chat. I just want to be able to like throw a little, hey, I want to watch something. Do y'all have any recommendations? Or if y'all want to ask us, if you need something right now, you need to watch something for this very minute, then we can answer your questions. Well, yeah, it's just something that I think we're going to figure out how we're going to use it with the podcast, and we're also going to do some fun other stuff with it. Anything to add, Anthony?
No, it should be fun. It'll be, I don't know. I feel like Instagram and Twitter, it's hard to like kind of build that community because it feels one-sided. I mean, there's the comment section for a post, or you could reply to a tweet, but I don't know, Discord, it feels more like a chat room. So it'll be more intimate.
Yeah, and that's what I mean. I just love the whole idea of this podcast was not to like get like make a bunch of money off of it. It was to connect with me and like me and you to connect. But now that we actually have people listening, I think it would be nice to connect on a like I said, a more meaningful level. So we'll figure that out. If we don't talk enough on it, or if we don't know what we're doing, this is just a disclaimer that Discord is at least for me, it's very new. So I'm trying to figure out how to use it, what it could be used for.
I haven't used it a whole lot, but I'll do research. I mean, we'll learn as we go. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, I think I'll probably post something on Thursday. So if you're listening right when this comes out, there should be something on there. If not, you can post something. We'll all figure it out together. But to move on to the actual episode, do you have any more announcements or anything you want to say before we get into the catching up?
Nah.
All right. So what have you seen? What have you done?
Did I talk about Mr. Robot last
You
episode?
talk about it every episode.
Well, I finished it.
Oh, did you?
I
Is
did.
it like done, or is there more episodes going to come out?
It's done. 4 seasons. They're done. Man, I don't. That show, it messed with me. It really did. I have no idea why. It especially the last couple of episodes. That show does a good job of. That could also be one of its like biggest critiques is that it does too many reveals. Too many like it. I feel like a viewer could easily get lost. Like what is even happening? Because I felt like that towards the like last 2 episodes. I was like, man, I don't even know what's real, what's not. I don't know what's happening. But when it was over, I was like, wow, that was a good show. And I don't know, I feel different after watching it. It's weird that a show can do that. It's pretty cool. But I don't know if I'd recommend it though to a lot of people. Just because it's really, really dark but it also covers uh, a mental illness that I don't think I've never seen that being covered in another show. Maybe a couple movies, but I also don't want to spoil too much about it because I feel like discovering what this character is going through is also a part of it. But yeah, man, it was like mentally taxing. That especially the end. I don't know. It was a crazy show. Um, that and Baby Mama. I've been trying to get into new stuff. I don't think I'm gonna revisit Ozark. Maybe later, but I don't feel like it now. I
Mm.
just, eh, eh, I don't know. Uh, that's pretty much it. I've been reading 2 books. There's this book Kayla got me. It's called. Oh man, I don't remember what it's called. But the other book that I've been reading, I don't remember the other one.
What is it about?
It's an interesting book because it's like there's just statements on there. It's just like things. The whole premise of the book is like things no one wants to say, but everyone's thinking. So it's like random just statements. Like by the time you like by the time you read this is the only time I'll know that you're alive. Like the author's saying that. Any other time I can't confirm that. It's just weird, interesting thoughts. Um, stuff that you, like I said, you think a lot, but you don't realize that you're thinking it. Just like I don't know, it's kind of hard to describe.
Do you have the book near you? Like, can you give us a sample? This reminds me, remind me after we're done recording. I have an idea of something to write.
Mm, okay.
And I think it's an interesting concept, but we'll discuss. But yeah.
I'll look it up. It's downstairs, so I don't want to go down and get it.
This
But
is the one that Kayla got you?
yeah, it's really interesting.
Well, you know what you can do? You could put it in the Discord.
Yeah, I could put it in the Discord. Yeah.
Talk about all entertainment, not just movies.
Yeah, and the other book, I have it right here actually.
When's the last time I feel like you used to read all the time, and I've like never seen you read like past when you were maybe like 15 or something.
Yeah, I don't know. It's I just kind of moved on to movies and shows. Like I feel like it's more like I have to put in more brain power to read, but also it's hard for me to find a good book that I want to read.
Mm-hmm.
The last like book I remember reading besides these 2 is like Ready Player One in high school. Ready Player
Yeah.
One and like The Martian, which were really, really good books.
Which I have. Do you know that? I have that copy.
Which one?
Oh, wait. Maybe I don't. I have a copy of The Martian that's not mine, that I took from somebody. It actually, I think, because do you have one right now?
I
A
think
copy
so.
of The
What
Martian?
do you have the one with Matt Damon's face on it?
Okay, yes. Because was it you that didn't want it because it was the movie cover?
Yeah, it was disgusting.
Oh my God. Okay, I need to
I
tell this story because I wanted to read The Martian. I probably never will. I have it with me because I really love the movie and I was like, "Oh, I bet," because everybody says that the book is a lot funnier. So I wanted to read it, but I asked mom one day because she was getting rid of a bunch of books or something, and I was like, "Oh, can I like have this book or can I borrow it?" But it's like mine now. And she said, "Yeah, I have another copy because I got this for Anthony, but he got mad because it was the movie cover." What a
yeah.
little brat.
Well, okay. Here's the thing, right?
Hmm.
Is that movie cover is disgusting.
Yeah, but like, who cares? It's a book.
but but I really liked the other one, like the original where it's like all red and you can only it's like a dust storm in Mars and you can like barely see the Martian or like the astronaut
Yeah.
suit. That's such a cool cover. It's probably my favorite cover of any book. So you know what? I don't even care.
But sorry, yeah, you have the book with you. What are you reading right now?
Yeah, it's called One More Thing: Stories and Other Stories by B.J. Novak, and it's just a
Oh.
bunch of it's an anthology. So there's just a bunch of random stories. Um,
I heard his books are really good.
yeah, he's really funny. I mean, obviously he worked on The Office and that's a hilarious show, but he writes very well. The callbacks, like he'll make callbacks from one story to like one that you read a couple pages ago, and it's like perfect. It's really funny. So I'd recommend
Okay.
that one. And the other one, all I know is it's a blue cover, and it's like things. I don't know. I don't want to. I'll look it up while you're giving your
Okay.
catch up.
So I'm in my comfort movie phase of watching a lot of scary movies. Not a lot. I saw a few. But I didn't this weekend was like a fucking blur. I don't even remember anything that happened. I remember doing my laundry, but that's it. But I did watch two movies that I can remember. Actually, an aside to that is I forgot to tell you, I think. Did I tell you that I watched The Goldfinch finally?
No, you did not. But
Oh my God,
tell
that
me about it.
movie. It was just a mess. It was a goddamn mess. But that's all I
Yeah.
had to say about it. It was just weird. I didn't understand it. Like at the end, it felt like one of those movies that I don't understand why it ended. Or like not why it ended, but like the appeal of it. I just can't the movie was so bad that I don't understand how the book was good. If that makes sense.
Yeah. I don't know. Mom's was reading the book, and she was just like, I asked her, "Is it good?" And she's like, "Eh." I
Oh,
just I have to finish it.
I should ask her. Man, that lady reads like nobody's business. She reads
Yeah,
so fast.
she
Um,
does.
I just finished a book for our book club and I need to start a new one. I have one that I'm going to start called Exit West. So hopefully I'll start reading it today. It's really short, so I think I can finish it by the week. By the week's end. But okay, so the two movies I watched. First is one called Come to Daddy
What
on
the?
Amazon Prime. I was going to wait to watch it like for the podcast, but I'm kind of glad I didn't because it wasn't that great. It's I think it was labeled as a horror film, and it was shown at the Fantastic Fest here in Austin, the one that shows like weird and scary movies. And it
Mm.
was okay. It had Elijah Wood in it. I think he produced it too. Um, and I love him, so I'll watch anything he's in. But well, not anything he's in, but most things he's in. Um, but yeah, I don't know. It was kind of weird. It had a good like twist to it that I didn't expect that I've honestly never seen in a movie, but I think it was just a little too weird for me. I don't know.
Yeah.
I probably need to watch it again. I watched it like during the day and I think I started it one day and then when I was trying to find something to watch, I was like, "Oh, let me just finish Come to Daddy." But yeah, I love the name of it though, unless I'm saying it wrong, but I think that's what it was. Um, the next one is another one that I revisited called The Taking of Deborah Logan because it was just added to Amazon Prime. And I saw it, I do remember seeing it. I didn't remember anything that happened except for one part. Um, but I remember seeing it in college, so this has been a long time since I've seen it. And it's super good. It like holds up really, really well. I don't know if you've seen it, but it's very creepy, and I think it would actually scare you.
Oh, really?
I think so.
Why does it sound so familiar?
I probably have talked about it before,
Mm.
but it reminded me because me and one of my friends are like really excited for this movie called Relic that's coming out. It's coming out
Hmm.
July 10th. And it's nobody's really talking about it, which is weird, but it came out during Sundance, and I think it would have gotten a theater release, but we all know why it's not. But it's going to be released on video on demand on July 10th, so I'm probably going to watch it the day it comes out. Because I think if you watch the trailer, Anthony, you're going to also be obsessed with it because the trailer looks fucking good. But I
Dang.
think it reminded me of it because the basic idea of the movie is that both movies centers around two older women that are being, I think that they're either like they have like onset dementia or they're like dealing with problems like that, like Alzheimer's or dementia. I forgot which one it is. Um, and one of them, Taking of Deborah Logan, it's I think it's a lot different than what Relic is supposed to be about, but it's basically that's like the basic premise that ties them both together. But yeah, I'm excited for Relic and Taking of Deborah Logan is really, like I said, it's really good, and it's also like a found footage kind of movie, and those are
Wow.
my fave.
Yeah, I like those.
But that's all I remember watching. I don't know if it's like Twitter, like movie news, because it's kind of hard to come by movie news right now. They did announce that there's a movie for A24 called First Cow that's gonna come out on video on demand, and I really want to see it. Everybody that I follow, like when I say everybody, it's usually like critics that I follow, they're obsessed and they say it's really, really good. So I'm
Yeah.
excited for that. But I want to take a little time to talk about the most chaotic director working right now has to be Christopher Nolan. Because the stories I see coming out about him or just like the stuff that's happening around his movies is insane. The first one that I sent you was that we made fun of this idea, but they're going to they're going to show Inception on Fortnite.
Didn't I think they already did it?
Either way, fucking chaos. And I think we joked about that, right?
Yeah, well,
And they're
because
doing
David
it.
told me about it.
Oh yeah,
David
yeah.
told me about it, and I was like, bro, why? But yeah, they did it. And I think David, because I told David, I was like, man, they did it. You were right. He was like, yeah, I really want to watch when they do when they uh when they show Memento, and I was like, what? Like, that's not. I don't even know. It didn't
Another
make any
thing,
sense.
another thing about I'm gonna call him our chaotic king because chaos ensues around him and his movies. The second thing was that Tenet is his newest movie that's supposed to come out this year. It's like one of the most highly anticipated movies of this year, and it was supposed to come out. I want to say like mid-July. I don't know the
I think
exact date,
I think
but
so.
they pushed it back, which I mean obviously makes sense, especially people that live. Me and you live in Texas, and the numbers here are fucking insane. Which that's another rant for another day, but yeah, it's looking bad, and we're probably going to be in another stay-at-home situation, or like lockdown situation. But this man decided to push it back until August. 1 month. What world is he living in? Maybe it's not him, but that the people in charge of the release of this movie think that everything is going to be fine and dandy by August.
It will be.
I
Nah, it
mean,
won't.
that that that's why I keep calling it chaotic, because like what world is he living in that he thinks that we're gonna be able to just like act like everything's fine and go see fucking Tenet. Like I'm gonna risk my life to see Tenet in theaters. No,
Honestly,
sir.
it looks like it's gonna be good.
Not that good. But the next thing is probably the funniest news I've seen this week. That so Anne Hathaway apparently said, and I don't know exactly what interview this was, but she said that Christopher Nolan doesn't allow chairs on set. Because, quote, his reasoning is if you have chairs, people will sit. And if they're sitting, they're not working.
Bro, what?
Chaotic. Who, like, what kind of fucking thinking is that? If they
Hey,
are sitting, like, what does he think of an office job? You know? What does he think? Does he think we're just, like, sitting around doing absolutely nothing all day? Doing fuck
well,
all?
well, on a film set, I could see that kinda.
Oh, come on. Somebody was like, somebody quoted that and said, why does Christopher Nolan have the same mentality as a McDonald's manager? Because that's so not true. Like, why is it weird to be. I don't like. Why is it weird that you like if you want to fucking rest, you're not working? Like, what you want people to stand around and do nothing? That's so dumb.
The man had the best Batman trilogy, so I'll
Yeah,
leave it.
he can do
I'll
whatever.
leave it. I'll let it pass.
Oh man. All right. That's all the movie news I have. I just needed to talk about that.
That's so dumb. Well, we're not
Well, I
working right
mean,
now.
so I would like to announce that we're going to start standing up while we record these.
Yeah, I mean, we have been. You haven't been? They don't know.
We could say that we're the only podcast that's ever just every episode stood while recording. The only podcast ever.
Mm-hmm.
And I can guarantee that. I'll bet you money that we're the only ones standing. We
Prove us
made
wrong.
all of we made all of our guests sign NDAs so they couldn't confirm
Nor deny.
nor deny. All right. Any
Well,
other news, or are you ready to get into the movie?
well, real fast, I found the book.
Oh yeah.
It's called Every Word You Cannot Say by Ian S. Thomas, and I'll just read the first paragraph of the back, the back cover.
Yeah.
If you've ever felt like there are things you can't say or talk about, or felt things you're not sure anyone else has ever felt before, then I know you. And I know you don't and I know you probably don't believe me, but that's okay. And then, so that's just the entire book. It's kind of similar to like the anthology, where it's just every single page is just a new like idea. That's it. I like it, and the cover is cool.
Interesting. All right, you ready?
Yeah.
Excuse me. Baby Mama came out in 2008. It was directed and written by Michael McCullers. Principal cast is Tina Fey, Amy Poehler, and Sigourney Weaver. Baby Mama is about a successful single businesswoman who dreams of having a baby, discovers she is infertile, and hires a working class woman to be her unlikely surrogate. It has an estimated budget of $30 million. Opening weekend, it made about $17 million. Yikes. In the US, it grossed about $60 million, and
Cumulative
worldwide.
worldwide gross 64
I'm just
million.
gonna take that word out of there so I never say it again.
Cute.
Cumulative. And worldwide it made about 64 million. So it made its money back, but opening weekend, oof. Um, as far as critics received it, it got a 6 out of 10 on IMDb, 63% Rotten Tomatoes, and a 55% on Metacritic.
Wow. That's all right.
Yeah, for a comedy. And like, I don't know. It's comedies like this that are kind of our, I wouldn't say childhood because this came out 2008, but movies that we like that our family loves. It's kind of hard to determine if it actually is a good movie or if we just like it because of the nostalgia of it. Yeah. All right, so we start with the skyline shots that I don't know if you remember a few movies back, they came together, made fun of this exact opening, where they have the skyline shots of Philadelphia. Uh, they have a voiceover of her talking about the sacrifices she made to be good at her job, and that sacrifice that she didn't have kids, she doesn't have a husband. She's telling So she's telling the camera right now that she wants a baby because she's 37. She needs a baby like right now. And we find out that it's on her first date with some random guy. And
Her being
obviously,
Tina Fey's character.
yeah, her Tina Fey's character, which name is Kate. Um, After that, there's a montage of her finding a donor, trying the in vitro stuff, trying adoption. When she tries the in vitro, she doesn't get pregnant. Which isn't really like I really do like this montage because um I mean I've never tried any of these avenues to have a kid because I like don't want a kid right now, but I feel like from what I've heard from people, like adoption, in vitro, all of this stuff is really taxing and takes a lot of time. And so I do like the whole like the emotion that they put behind it and that small scene where she doesn't get pregnant and she finds out that she's not pregnant after all of that, the procedure and whatnot. It must be really hard. Um,
Yeah. My my kind of like nitpick about this montage is I don't like when she's at like the adoption agency and the lawyer or whatever is just hands her back her paper, slides it across the table or his desk and is just
yeah.
like nodding his head or shaking his head just like no, because there's just audio or just music. I don't know why that bothers me so much.
And I wish they would explain that more because what I'm assuming, and so I think what will be interesting about this movie is how women watch this movie versus how a man watches this movie. Because I don't know if you thought of this, but for me, instantly I was like, oh, it's because she's a single woman. That's why they're not going to let her adopt one. Because a lot
Yeah.
of adoption agencies, I mean, there's a bunch of different like arguments or not arguments, but maybe studies. I don't know, just like how hard it is when you're single or when you're not the like nuclear family kind of when it's not a man and a woman,
Hmm.
then it's harder for you to like get and it's already hard to do an adoption, but it's harder if you don't look like what people think you should look like.
Hmm. No, yeah, I
But yeah.
thought of that, but I just didn't like the way they showed.
Yeah. um and so her doctor, after that, she goes to her doctor, and this is when the montage kind of ends. And I'm assuming that she's asking like what happened, why the pregnancy didn't work, and he just keeps saying, "I don't like your uterus." It's because she basically, I think he said it's a T-shaped one. I don't know anything about this, um, about like what that actually means, if that's real. I'm assuming it is, but basically, it's impossible for her to get pregnant, which really sucks. She obviously really wants a kid.
One in a
And then
million.
yeah, and then we cut to her family, her at dinner, I guess, with her family, and they're giving her a lot of shit for it and saying like just like tell like about adoption, about in vitro, all that stuff, and I don't know. It seems really rough, especially as a woman. Like if that's, I mean, I like that this movie is specifically about a woman that does really want a kid, but even when it's the other way around, when you're a woman that doesn't ever want a kid, or if you don't have one now, or if you're just not like open about what you want in the future, it's so annoying to be like asked those questions or to be just to be in that line of questioning because like it's such a personal thing that people are just constantly asking you, it's so annoying. Like I've known somebody that she had a kid and then people instantly after that, even after you have one, they're like, oh, are you gonna have another one? And she's like, that first pregnancy was the like hardest thing I've ever my body and me have ever had to do. I am never
Yeah.
doing that again. It's so like you don't know the story behind their pregnancy or what they went through, so like don't fucking ask. But yeah.
I would imagine uh it gets worse as you get older.
Oh
Especially
yeah.
in the movie she's 37 and she's single and her mom like kind of makes fun of her for that.
Yeah. calling her, or I don't know if they call her this, but like in the old fashioned movies, they'll call her like a spinster because she's single, doesn't have a kid.
Oh.
So dumb. And then we finally see her at her job. So we know that she's this businesswoman, but we finally see her in a meeting with all of the people that work with her, and it's Steve Martin is the boss, and he's fucking amazing in this movie. His
His hair.
ponytail, oh, iconic.
It like, yeah. If I didn't know Steve Martin and that he didn't have that hair, I'd be convinced that he had that long hair. It was
Pretty good wig.
Yeah, it was pretty good.
He just looks good with white hair in general. Like if they put like a brown ponytail, then it would be weird. But because
Yeah.
it's Steve Martin, you have to put like white hair. Um yeah, and so this scene she gets promoted to vice president. So she already works too much and now she's getting a promotion. And the way that he says he wants to transfer his success to her. And I think it was just like they put their heads together. And
Yeah,
I love
almost like an Eskimo kiss, but on their forehead. Just like forehead to forehead.
so strange. Um All right, so I have a first fun fact for this movie, and it's that Richard Gere, which I bet you don't know who that is. Do you?
No, I had to click on the hyperlink.
So Richard Gere was the first choice to play Kate's boss, Barry. Oh, Barry's his name. But he turned the role down. But I think I can't see Richard Gere in this role. I think just because Steve Martin made it so perfect that there's no way anybody else could have done it. I also wonder if like I'm not familiar with this writer, so I'm wondering how much of it was written versus him just being like, just it's Steve Martin, just do whatever the fuck you want. So who knows what could have happened.
Steve Martin is perfect for this role.
So good. And then another person that's perfect in this movie is when she goes to the surrogate agency, when she decides she wants a surrogate, Sigourney Weaver. I don't remember her name. It's like Bicknell or something, but I'm going to call her Sigourney. She is so fucking funny in this movie. Her hair, the way it bounces is funny. Like everything about it is so fucking funny. And then the $100,000 to have a kid this way. I mean, that makes sense. It's a kid, but like, oh my God.
You think it'd be
That's
more
insane.
or less?
I don't know. That just seems like a lot of money, but like when I think of like what you're asking somebody to do, then like yeah, that makes sense. It's kind of hard to put money on it, but if I were to put a price on it, it'd be probably 100,000.
Mm.
Um yeah. Oh, and then so now she is meeting Angie, who is played by Amy Poehler, who is the person that I think that now Angie's like interviewing people so that she can decide who she wants to be a surrogate for. And
Yeah.
one joke or like quote that I took down that I thought was funny is she said how she discontinued high school.
Yeah.
Oh, what an amazing way.
There's that, and then because Kate compliments her top, and she's like, "Oh yeah, it's a t-shirt vest or something." It's like I made it myself, and it looked funny.
But I'm gonna so I was gonna go for my master's. I went to one class for my master's, but then decided that I just didn't want to get it. So
You discontinued.
I'm gonna say I discontinued my master's. I have a bachelor's and I discontinued my master's. And then after this meeting, this weird ass meeting, Angie did decide to have Kate's baby. I didn't have any notes about the meeting, I don't think.
Yeah, other than her t-shirt vest thing.
But the next part, I remember this part so vividly, right? Like as soon as she said she wanted to like have her baby, I was like, oh man, this montage is amazing. Or I don't know if it's a montage. It's kind of like a music video.
Yeah, kind
But
of.
they have like I think it's Endless Love is playing in the background, and they're like there's no the dialogue. They're just kind of pantomiming everything that's happening, and it's so funny. It's hard to describe. I mean, hopefully everybody's seen it already, but I just wanted to note that it's one of the best scenes of this movie.
The like CGI is
Yeah.
funny too.
of the egg or the
Yeah,
embryo.
just dropping.
And then I love too that after the disappointment, she drops Angie off, and Angie said because Carl was waiting to win a radio contest, so that's why he couldn't go and drop her and pick her up. After this, we see Kate scouting for locations for the new location of their store. Oh, I guess I didn't mention that, but they're basically a Whole Foods is what she works for.
Yeah.
And she was promoted to vice president, and the project that she was given was a new store in Philadelphia. So now she's scouting for locations, and she drops in on a smoothie store that's completely empty, and it's owned by, I think his name is Rob. I have it later, but I don't have it right now.
It's Rob.
But he's played by Greg Kinnear.
Mm-hmm.
And I love Greg Kinnear. I don't think he's in a lot of movies that I love, and I don't think I've seen him recently though. But he has just like such a familiar voice to me. I just love his acting. He's such a like he's a good like nice guy kind of actor. Yeah.
I guess, yeah.
I love him. I don't know if you probably have seen some movies with him, but I
yeah, it is a very familiar face. I feel like
he's one of
everyone.
those people. Well, he's one of those people that you're like, oh, he's been in tons of movies, but I can't name one.
Yeah.
Oh, and I needed to point out that Kate has a Razor phone. She has a gray Razor phone, and it's almost exactly like the one that I had. But mine, I think I had Dad's. He like gave me his, and it had a dragon on it. So
Had a dragon.
yeah, fucking cool.
Yeah, that aged the movie real fast.
There's a lot of things, like a bunch of landlines that I saw in this movie. And I also like I'm moving to a new place, so like maybe I'll get a fucking landline. Who knows? And go crazy. I think it actually is included in my Spectrum deal, in like my
Why?
bundle, because the way it worked is if I had to get the phone. The guy that sold me the like bundle, he said that I had to get the phone thing, and I had to have it for the first month, and then I had to like take it back, and they would take that money off of it, but it wouldn't change the deal that I had.
What
It
a
was weird.
scam.
It wasn't a scam because I only had to pay like $7 the first month. But I got a great deal. But anyways, she's on her razor, and Angie calls to tell her that she's pregnant, that it worked. And after this, Kate is in a store trying to buy a bunch of pregnancy books, trying to get ready. And I noted that because she's on her phone with her sister, I forgot what they're talking about, but one thing that was notable was after she's like buying all this stuff, actually two things. So she's buying all this stuff in a bookstore. One of my biggest pet peeves is when people buy stuff when they're like at the register and they're on their phone and they're talking and they're not. I hate that. Like tell them, "Hey, I need to like finish my purchase and put it in your pocket." I've always hated that. That's so annoying. Um a second thing that was annoying was that the lady that worked at the bookstore said, "Oh," or like she's like assumed that she's pregnant, and she was like, "Oh, it's a girl. That's why your hair is so dry." And honestly, it's wild the things that women think that they can say to other women or just do, because this just reminded me of how many times it hasn't happened in a long time, obviously, because I haven't gone out that much, but the amount of times that women have just touched my hair, it's fucking wild. And I assume that everybody knows this, but for context, I have curly hair. And because I have curly hair, I feel like women just feel like they can just touch it. I don't know if that's happened to you, Anthony, when you
Oh
have
my
curly hair.
gosh, man. So all the time in high school, all the time. I'm glad I shaved my head because now no one, it's just shaved. So no one
You know
wants
what?
to run their hair through some shaved hair. It's like, oh yeah, what did I say?
You said nobody wants to run their hair through your shaved hair. Nobody wants to rub rub skulls with you.
Rub skulls. Rub my scalp with your scalp. Yeah.
Another thing that it's not as much women. I've had men do this too, but when you have tattoos, people just love touching them. It's so weird. I've had
Yeah.
like one is too many, but I've had a couple people just like when they're like, "Oh, I like your tattoo," they'll rub it. Who rubs another person's body? That's so fucking strange.
I wonder if that'll happen after COVID.
I don't know. People still do dumb shit, so who knows?
Yeah. What is it about curly hair?
Um, I don't know, cause like I honestly have no idea. I want to ask somebody. Maybe next time somebody tries to touch my hair, I'll ask them.
Why?
But it only happened when I was younger, though. Like I don't think it's happened since I've been like I'm visibly an adult now. I feel like when I looked like I was a teenager, it happened a
Mm.
lot, but I don't know. And it's usually, like I said, it's usually other women. I don't think I've ever had another man touch my hair, but I've had women touch my hair all the time. It's very strange what strangers things they can do to you.
Yeah. Ah, yeah.
Strange.
Yeah.
So next in the movie is that Angie leaves Carl. I think she shows up to Kate's place. And then after the day after Kate gets everything baby proofed, and I think he makes a comment in this, but like it's so early in the process
Yeah.
she gets it baby proofed. Um, and Angie has a hard time with the toilet lock, but honestly, I don't blame her because like I probably couldn't figure that fucking thing out. I do remember, I don't know if you remember this, Anthony, but I do remember some baby proofing stuff. Like we had some of the cabinet ones and then the door one where you have to press on it. We had a lot of those too.
Yeah. Yeah, just for Homer. Just because he's kind of dumb.
We had it for you too.
I'm just playing.
Oh yeah,
No,
y'all still have them though, right? The toilet lock for Homer, so he doesn't
yeah.
drown.
Yes, we just didn't drown.
Oh, and then I had a question for you. Oh no, not yet, not yet. I didn't see the door in Men. I just read do men usually. So I'm just wondering for anybody that has a doorman, do they usually help park cars and with groceries? I know that they get packages and stuff, but I just never I don't think I've ever well, obviously in Texas I don't think that's a thing. This is in New York and or Philadelphia, like up there in that area, it's that thing. But if anybody that listens to this podcast lives in those areas or has a doorman, I want to know just the function of them. Because I know you tip them. Like you're supposed to tip them every year. But like what do they I just want to know what they do.
It, I feel like it depends on your relationship with him because I'm sure he's not that close with every one of the tenants in that building.
If there even is one, because I don't think I've ever I don't think there's another one in this movie that I see in the lobby.
Yeah, that's true. But it was really funny whenever this was earlier in the movie, but whenever Carl gave the doorman the keys, it
Yeah.
was he said something really weird to him, and like they like lingered on it, and then it just it was like a random. He was like, "Stop it and drive," and then yank it and park, or else or else it'll smoke.
I
And
feel
he's
like
like,
that's like my car. I like
and then
so when you back out, the brakes are gonna squeak, but it's fine.
yeah,
I'm just curious about their like what exactly they do. And it seems like a cool like I mean, it would make sense for how my apartment is structured, but I would love a doorman. I mean, seems like a great job. Um and then so this is when Kate is trying to get Angie to be more healthy because she finds that she's drinking soda, she's eating like bad food, and she's also smoking.
yeah.
But also like she gives her like these prenatal vitamins and
Mhm.
there's one that's like it's basically the size of like a bottle cap. It's so fucking big and I don't think I could do it. I don't understand how you don't like how she didn't cut it up. Like do you have to take it like that?
Yeah, that was like a razzle on crack. That was insane.
It was huge. I should have I was going to text mom with a bunch of questions about like pregnancy and stuff because she did it so many damn times. But maybe I'll have her I don't know. I was so curious, like, what if she did take prenatal vitamins and if this was like just like a comic kind of thing, like if it isn't actually that big. I also wanted to know like how many people would just like with that lady just telling her stuff, you know? Like I want to know how many people would just go and touch her stomach.
I feel like that happens all the time.
I've seen it. I actually worked with this one lady this like volunteer thing where she asked them, she went to Starbucks when she was pregnant. She was visibly pregnant. And she asked them if she could have, because one of the things you can't have is caffeine or coffee. I think you have caffeine, but coffee specifically you're not allowed to have. But she would get a hot chocolate with a shot of espresso so that she could have caffeine, but it wouldn't be as much. It wouldn't be like an entire thing of coffee. And when
Mm.
she did that, when she ordered that, she told me that the person was like, well, should you be drinking that?
What the hell?
It's fucking wild the things that people think they can say to women, especially pregnant women. Like, why? It's so dumb. But yeah, so I guess I should have asked mom all these questions, but I didn't. Um, all right, so now we're at the groundbreaking for the store. Or I don't know if it's a groundbreaking. I think this part is not a groundbreaking. It's like the press conference.
Yeah.
And Rob, who is the owner of the smoothie shop, Super Fruity, he shows up and he asks this. I guess he finds out that she lied to him because at the beginning part, I forgot to say this, but she was scouting and she asked him for advice on the neighborhood because she was saying she was looking for an apartment complex, which was obviously not true. And then at this, what do I call it? Or at this press conference, they had a bunch of free samples. And I think the thing I missed the most during this quarantine is free samples.
Those were like good samples too.
Like entire things.
I liked how that one guy was like just stealing it, and Kate was like, these are free. You don't have to like hide it.
I feel like that's you. You love free shit, right?
Man, I love free stuff. That college is the best
Oh
place to get
man.
free stuff. Like, man, especially at my work on campus, there'll be events, and I'll want to cover them just because I know there'll be food. It's just, man, there's so much free stuff in college. Like, honestly, I'm just glad I went to college for all the free stuff.
There you go. And one of my pitches to you to get you to buy a pass for South by if it ever happens is, can you imagine the free shit you'll get? I've only been to some of the free stuff during South by because a lot of it requires a badge, but every year I get so much shit.
Yeah, but is it like lame stuff or is it like
No,
cool free stuff?
it's cool free stuff.
Give me some
Not to
examples.
mention all the food you get. I had an umbrella. I got a full fucking umbrella. There was a day where Sebastian and I didn't have to buy anything because we would just go like we would hop to a bunch of different like events where they had free food and like this isn't for you, but they had free drinks. Well, actually, how old are you now? 20?
I won't be
Oh,
21
not for
for
the next one.
the next South by.
But there's that's the biggest thing is the free food. But well, this isn't for you either. But we went to it could be, but we went to this like Ipsy truck, which is a subscription service for makeup. We got a bunch of free samples. There's just so many places, Anthony.
I love
People
free
just
stuff.
hand you stuff. Like Emily, she was there whenever they have the movie The Curse of La Llorona was coming out, and they gave her a free package of sage, like burning sage. But
Man,
yeah,
I love going to hackathons. There's a bunch of like USBs, like all electronic stuff and like stickers. There's a lot of places to get free stuff.
dude, no, that's what I'm thinking though. If we get a badge though, like I just for going for free badgeless, I got like a good amount of shit. Can't even imagine what I
Do
would
you
get
do you think this would be an interesting video to make? You could get your money's worth of free stuff
from a badge.
from a badge.
Probably not. You know how much badges are?
I know, that's what I'm saying. Like, do you think
That'd
you
be
could
interesting.
try? I feel like you'd have to spend the whole week doing that though, because it's like a couple thousand to get a badge.
Well, that's what I was going to do. So there was last time we went to there was a Bumble thing, and I have oh yeah, and you've seen that bottle opener that I have that I
Oh
still
yeah.
use. That was from that. And they have a bunch of books. They had a hat. We could take whatever. They said one thing, but like we could have taken as much as we wanted. But if you add up the food too, so we had free coffee every morning if you were a Bumble member. But yeah, I don't. I think we could maybe. I don't know. We'll see. If it ever happens, we'll try. Or I'll try. But yeah, so going back to the movie, talking about like how many things you're not allowed to do when you're pregnant. I would like to think when or if that time comes that I'd be like a Kate, that I would be really conscious about what I'm doing, keeping my baby like healthy and safe. But I think I'd like be like not as bad as Angie. Like I would never smoke. But I would like probably sneak some coffee. I'd eat those tasty cakes that she was eating. Like I would eat so because that's such an amazing excuse to be like, why can you eat whatever the fuck I want? I'm pregnant.
Mm-hmm. I'm
Um,
making human life.
exactly. And I don't remember what this part was specifically referencing or this note, but I think the editing in this movie is so
Mm.
good. Like the things that they would cut to. Oh, it was when they were fighting. So they were fighting about whatever, and they cut like Angie and Kate were fighting, and they cut to whenever they were doing that like surrogacy like group therapy thing, and they continued the fight during the therapy, and it was very like flawless the way they edited it.
Yeah. I speaking to that baby class thing, I hate that lady's voice.
Oh my god.
The instructor, she has like a
Yeah.
baby voice.
So
That
weird.
I'm not gonna do it, but just go watch a clip.
um oh, but this one is that's at the class. This is at the like where they're doing it's like a circle. They're like in a circle and they're talking about like their experience with surrogacy. And
Oh.
yeah, but yeah, I think I skipped that because I didn't really have anything to add. Because when I was younger, I thought it was funny, but then I think there's people that actually have that like that talk like that, so it's kind of weird to like use that as a bit. I don't know. Who knows? But it was kind of funny. But in this therapy scene, which I fucking love, Jason Mantzoukas is in it, and I totally forgot because first of all, he looks so different. Second of all,
Insanely.
he just is the perfect. I feel like he's one of those guys that's in like everything. I see him in so many comedies, but he's the perfect addition to everything. But my favorite part, because he's talking about how he doesn't like that he's like surrounded by a bunch of fatties, and the way that the specifically the funniest part to me is the way he recoils when they're trying to comfort him, where he's like, "Oh no, I can't do it." I wish we did videos, but it was so funny. Um, yeah,
His
I don't
voice
know.
sounds so different in that.
Yeah, he this was a while ago, so that
Yeah.
makes sense, but yeah, I didn't even recognize him for a second. He just looks so different.
Mm-hmm.
Um, oh, I think now we're at the whole like I think it's called Lamaze or it's like some weird class that couples take when they're pregnant. Um, and I think one of the questions that the lady was asking them was who is going to have a natural childbirth? And everybody raises their hand and she's like and who's going to plug their children full of it was like just like a really judgmental like saying or thing about how like natural versus getting like medication when you're pregnant, and everybody was looking at her like because Angie was the only one that was like me.
Whoop whoop.
And I mean I know this is a comedy but like yeah that is very real, the whole judgment behind doing it natural or having
Mm-hmm.
medication. But like it's so strange because I wanted to ask mom about this too because I think she did. Well, I guess I shouldn't say if I don't know, but just childbirth is such a like wild process, and it obviously looks like it hurts fucking ton. So why are we judging women for wanting to make that as easy as possible? Very strange. Um, Another cameo though that we see is Fred Armisen. He's the stroller salesman.
Yeah, he's such a nice addition. He's really funny.
Cause I forgot about him too. Like I forgot about so many people in this movie, but I was so surprised when I saw him.
Yeah, he's good.
Oh, and so now we go back to her working, and they're trying to figure out this whole new store. And Steve Martin's character brings a shell that he wants as the focal point for the new store. It's like the smallest little shell that I've ever seen. And I said that that's me when I get my new place and I'm trying to like redecorate. I'm gonna find like a rock on the floor and be like, this is the focal point for this new place.
This is the essence of my new apartment.
And while he's trying to figure out and tell, I think it's Kate and then Rick, who is, I guess he works there. I don't know if they ever say what he does, but he's telling them about the shell. And so Rick asks, so in a normal, like a normal tone, a normal question, he asks, so you want it to look like the shell? And Barry, played by Steve Martin, says, you know, Rick, when you talk to me in that tone of voice, I get incredibly angry. I couldn't have been more specific. And he also says it in like a normal tone. And I just love the way that he delivered that. And then Kate comes to rescue and says, well, I think you want the essence of the shell. And he said, yes, Kate. Sorry for losing my cool, Rick. Oh, God, so goddamn funny. If we go back to Angie's storyline, and she's meeting up with Carl, and he wants her back. And this is also where they reveal the twist that Angie is actually not pregnant. Which I don't understand. Now watching this movie, what was the end game of that whole thing? You know, like what were they gonna do? Just take a couple of payments and split? Like I just don't understand the whole end game of not being pregnant.
Yeah, I think go as far as they could and take the payments because it was like 10,000 every couple of weeks. Because yeah, I don't know.
They could only really do that once though, because you have to get regular ultrasounds. So I just, but it kind of brings the whole like Carl's not very smart, so it's kind of hard for him to like probably come up with a full plan. And then we go back to Kate at her job, where I don't exactly remember what's happening, but he wants to reward her again for some successful thing. And her reward is that he wants them to have constant eye contact for 5 minutes. And part of me, I wonder if they shot it this way, but part of me wanted it to actually be 5 minutes long.
Man, I noticed that right before they cut it, Tina Fey's character, or she smiled.
Yeah.
So I wonder if like she broke right after that. But
Well,
that was hilarious.
in every scene with him, with Steve Martin specifically, I don't know how they did any of them. I like even now I've seen this movie so many times, and this movie makes me laugh a lot, but those scenes with him make me laugh so much. So I don't understand how they could have, like, how she could even do that for a second. I don't get it.
Yeah, he's hilarious.
Also, so now Angie and Kate are going to the club because she's also wants to celebrate her just doing an amazing job at work. And her nightclub outfit, it just reminded me of you so much.
Me?
Because I feel like if you were to go out somewhere, there's a 50% chance that you'd either wear Crocs or basketball shorts.
Crap. You say 50? That's very high. I'd say higher. 99.
There was this TikTok. Oh, I should have sent it to you. Have you seen those ones that are like put your finger on the screen and whatever lands there is what you need the most right now?
No.
And it's just like a bunch of text popping over, and sometimes it'll say like love or sleep or whatever. And there was this one, I knew it was going to be a joke, but I wanted to see what it was. And all of the words were Crocs. And he was like, yeah, boy. And he had a Croc on. Oh, I should have sent it to you. And so they're at the club and doing their thing. And Kate was saying that she There's one thing that she's always wanted to do, and it was to play. I think it's called Woman in Red. It's this like slow song that should not be played at a nightclub. But I was wondering what song you would play if you had to play at a nightclub. If they told you could play one song, whatever you want.
Oh man. Any song?
Mm.
Oh.
I would want to play it like do a joke song, but I think I'd get too nervous and I'd probably just pick like some Kanye song.
Yeah, I mean
Maybe
there's
like the
like
Macarena or the Cupid Shuffle.
the Cupid Shuffle, man, that goes way too hard for that to play at a club. I don't know. I feel like a Skrillex song would be really, really funny. Just like Bangarang or Kiss from a Rose.
Ooh, that's a good one.
I don't
More
know.
Than Words, that's a good one too.
Yeah. Let us know in the Discord what you guys would play.
Your club song, like a really sad song.
We can make a playlist. Yeah, that'd be really funny.
Crying in the Club. I'm sure.
Crying in the club.
And then we're still at the nightclub, so Kate's ex is there, and it's Will Forte. And I think I remembered that. I knew it was somebody famous, but I couldn't remember who it was. But he has this rowdy mustache. And then, oh, sorry, go on.
He says, because she's like asking him how he's doing. He's like, "Oh yeah, I actually got into a bicycle accident and my penis got larger or something like that."
She's like,
They just like
oh.
easily gloss past that. It's so funny.
But when they leave, Angie's like, I think Kate looks at, they find his car, and she's like, you know what we should do? And then Angie throws a trash can at it. And Kate says, I was going to
Completely,
say leave a funny note.
completely shatters the back windshield. Yeah, that was really funny.
And I skipped past a lot of things, but I think because Kate, like, I think she goes to the smoothie guy. They have a great night. And then after that, Angie is walking up to their to the apartment, and Carl's there. And I guess they get like in a fight, and Angie says that she wants a common law divorce.
Yeah, what the hell is that?
So I think if you're I don't know if this is true anymore, but and I could sound dumb, but I think if you're with somebody for so long, or if you live with them for so long, then it's considered common law. So you're not actually married, but you're married by common law. And so they're, like I said, yeah, they're not actually married. And so it's funny to say common law divorce because I think you just have to figure it out. I don't know too much about common law, but oh, and then Angie decides because of the whole, oh wait, what? Did I skip the part where she finds out that she's actually pregnant? Yeah, okay, I did skip the part. So Angie finds out that she's actually pregnant. Oh, so yeah, okay, sorry. So she tries to tell Kate before the ultrasound, but she's actually pregnant and it's Carl's baby. And so she tries to leave, but the doorman stops her and says, like, she doesn't know, so she's gonna think you just stole her baby. Which is really fucked up. And then I think there's a scene where she like is telling him that she thinks that she's pregnant or whatever, and she mentions her period, and he's like, I don't want to know, it's disgusting. And then he says, and then if you tell me, our cycles are gonna sync up. Very funny. And there's like this new trend on TikTok too, where like it's basically making fun of men for like how little they know about women's periods.
Oh gosh.
One of them is, did you see the one about how some men don't know how pads work? Do you know how pads work, Anthony?
How pads work?
Yes.
What do you mean how they work?
Like, what do you do with a pad?
You just like stick it on
Where?
your crotch.
Wait. No, you're fucking with me.
I have no idea.
What? So you know that pads are sticky, right?
Yeah.
Where does the sticky part go?
Oh no, it goes on underwear maybe?
Yeah. Did you?
I have no idea.
I'm joking. So okay, I was gonna make fun of these men, but you are these men. There's some men that think that that you stick pads to your your body.
I don't know, that made the most sense to me.
Really?
Well, okay, so I don't know. How I was
I
never
just never.
given.
I know, and I'm not trying to say it's your fault, but that's like, I've never ever thought somebody thought that you stick it to your person.
Well, okay, so I think here's why. Here's why. So there's like the normal like it's like an oval kind of, right? And there's little like flaps on the outside. It makes the most sense that the flaps, like the sticky part of the flaps, are on the inside.
What?
But I don't know. I have no
Have you
idea.
ever seen a pad before?
Yeah, it's like that's what I'm saying. It's like an oval part, and then there's like a flap. There's like two little flaps, like,
Yeah, they
but I don't know
fold
what those flaps
underneath
do.
so that it stays in
Oh.
place. Oh my god.
Ah.
I would watch these videos and I'd be like, oh, but like my brother's probably. I need
There's
to ask
no
that.
way Homer knows what a
Oh
pad
yeah, I
looks like.
guarantee. But I thought it'd be fun if we take a little quiz.
Oh gosh.
This quiz
Okay.
is called it's called Does Your Boyfriend Know More About Periods Than a 10-Year-Old Boy? But I'm gonna change it to Does Your Brother Know More About Periods Than a 10-Year-Old Boy? So the
Okay.
first one was to identify a tampon, but you can't see it, but I think you know what a tampon looks like. All
Yeah.
right. God, this is gonna be so this is for I think we have more women listeners, so I think that they would be excited about this. So first is what is a period? The discharge of the womb through the vagina, the discharge of the inner lining of the ovaries through the vagina, or the discharge of the inner lining of the uterus through the vagina.
It's of the uterus.
Correct.
Boom.
True or false? Period blood flows constantly out of the vagina like a running tap.
Oh, I think false.
Yeah, that's true. Sorry. Oh yeah, it's
Wait.
false. Sorry. No, it's false. It's
Okay.
false. Um,
It just seems weird, like a running tap. Like, why do they use that analogy?
some people think this, Anthony.
Oh, okay. Right now, I'm doing pretty good, by the way.
You've gotten all of them right. And I will give you the tampon one because I think you would have identified a tampon versus a pad. Okay, next question is how many days does the average period last? 1 to 2, 3 to 5, 5 to 7, or 7 to 9?
I'd say 3 to 5.
Okay, so that is correct. But if any woman out there has a 3-day period, I want to talk. I want to have a quick talk. Because
Because
mine
that's
lasts a steady 7 days every single time.
damn a whole week.
Yeah. I don't know what this 3 to 5 shit comes from.
Well, I
All
mean,
right.
it's average, so.
So the next one, it's that now we're on level 2. That was the easy shit. This is medium.
Okay.
How much blood is lost on average during a period? 30 to 40 milliliters, 40 to 80 milliliters, 80 to 100 milliliters, or a pint?
Oh, I'm gonna go 80 to 100.
Nope. 30
Is it
to
a pint?
40. No,
Oh,
30 to 40
okay.
milliliters. Oh my god, that would be
A
insane.
pint is a lot.
Um, can a woman get pregnant on her period?
Oh, yeah?
Mhm.
Yeah.
True or false? Women know exactly when their period is going to start.
True.
Nope.
Uh,
Um, so I have an app that'll like help you predict it, but No, it's sometimes it's regulated for some women. This is a very like a lot of women have different because sometimes some women are on birth control, so that fucks with you. It depends, but like from my experience, it's pretty I'm lucky to be pretty regular, but it kind of is just like it gives you like a range. It's kind of like when like say you're gonna have furniture delivered and they're like, we'll be here from anywhere between 8 and 4 p.m. You know, like I'm like, okay, so these next 3 days I might get it, but who knows? Um, also, like the slightest amount of stress will cause you to be delayed, and it's just like annoying.
Whoa.
Yeah. I was gonna say something else about that, but I don't remember. Oh, and some women too, I think we can feel inklings of it. So like I get like a pain in my back or so like I'm not an emotional person, but if I watch a video that's not that sad, but I start to like feel emotional, then I know it's coming.
If I feel something.
Yeah, if I feel anything, then yeah, it's coming. What is the maximum time? Whoa. What is the maximum of time a woman should leave a tampon in for? 2 days, 1 day, 8 hours, or 4 hours?
Maximum time?
Maximum time.
I'd say a mm, mm, I'd say a day.
Nope. 8 hours.
8 hours? Well, that's like a
It
work
depends.
day.
It depends too what kind that you use, but typically you shouldn't leave it in for longer than that. There's some horror stories too of some women forgetting that they
Ugh.
already have one in and putting another one.
Oh, what the?
All right. Level 3, hard.
I don't think I got any of those, like medium
Um,
ones or whatever, level 2 ones,
you
right?
got one.
That's better
No, you
than
got one.
doing better than I thought I would. All right, bring level 3.
Um, what can cause toxic shock syndrome? Using a tampon that is higher absorbency than you need, leaving a tampon in for too long, not changing your pad frequently enough, or having sex whilst on your period.
That's the tampon one, leaving your leaving it in too long.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool.
Oh, this one is so. This is, I guess, a British one. So their money is different. But how much will a woman spend on her period during her lifetime? One
Whoa.
thousand pounds, 5,000 pounds, 10,000 pounds, or 18,000 pounds?
I'd say 10,000 pounds.
Nope, 18,000. And I'll
Eight. Wow.
I'll convert it. So that's about $22,159.80. Yes. So
Dang.
yeah, we have to buy so all the stuff that we need. Imagine like having to buy all the tampons, all the stuff that you need for 12 like every month. So that's like a cost like it's an occurring cost,
It's like
reoccurring
a
cost.
car.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a
Throughout your
decent
lifetime.
car. Wow.
True or false, women know exactly when their period is over.
Oh, that's false.
Hmm. Sometimes you'll think it is, and then she's like, nope.
Yeah, how are you
Um,
gonna know? Yeah, okay, whatever. Yeah,
is
that's correct.
period blood the same as normal blood? Yes. No, it contains clots and dead tissue. No, it's brown, or no, it's mixed with pee.
Got
Sorry.
a little pee in it. I'd say no because it's like lining.
It's
So it's
what?
like, isn't it?
Oh.
It's like tissue. Whatever
Also,
that
no, it
answer
contains
was.
clots and
Second
dead
one?
tissue.
Yeah.
Oh, shit. Sorry, I put the wrong one, but yeah, you were right.
Okay. Well, I
Yes.
feel like that was.
Clots are gnarly, dude.
Is that like? I don't know.
It's like I don't know what it would be like.
It's like when you cough up
It's like
mucus.
clumps of yeah, oh yeah, yeah. Or like when you get a nosebleed and when the nosebleed is over, you get that weird thing that comes out that's like bloody and gross.
Yeah, it's like mucus mixed with blood. Like I've coughed that up for
That's
sure.
almost exactly what it's like, yeah. And
That's
some women,
weird.
when you have like, I think it's called endometriosis, some women have some that can be the size of like dinner plates.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Dinner plates?
Hmm.
Wow. This is it
Oh, this
like
is my favorite one. Sorry.
never mind, I'm not gonna say that. Never mind. I'll tell you after, maybe.
Okay.
I feel like
Well, no, this is
it'll
good.
gross
I
people out.
hope no, but this is why I was like, maybe we shouldn't do this. But you know what? Fuck it. Like, I want men to listen to this too,
No,
because I feel
like
like
okay. Is it like I just you said a dinner plate and imagine like
I haven't personally experienced it, so I don't know.
no, I'm just imagining a what are those? It's like canned
Oh,
something.
cranberries?
Yeah, cranberry.
No, that's too thick.
Water that down. That's
Okay.
crazy.
All right, level 4 is gross. What
Okay.
happens if a woman sneezes while on her period? Their tampon falls out, blood rushes out of their vagina, they pee a tiny bit, or the movement will cause their period to leak.
Uh, there'll be some leakage. Is there leakage?
No, so not really, but blood does rush out. Anytime you sneeze, anytime you cough, sometimes when you stand up,
Isn't that
it's
the
like a
same thing
waterfall.
as leakage though?
No, because it doesn't mean that it's enough to like actually leak and like leak out of your pants.
Oh, okay.
True or false, when a woman is on their period, her bowel movements change.
Oh, I'm gonna say true. They be pooping more.
Yep, dude, period shits are gnarly.
I'll
True or
never
false, when
experience
a
that.
true or false, women have to take their tampons out to pee.
To pee? False.
Yeah, that's false. They're different holes.
Okay.
True or false, after their period is over, women have to put a special soap-soaked tampon in their vagina to clean it out.
Oh. False?
Yeah, it's false.
I was about, isn't it like it's like naturally cleaning itself out.
Yeah,
Okay.
basically, yeah. All right, that's it. You got, well, I did one wrong, so you got 11 out of 16. So you know more than a 10-year-old and a 15-year-old.
Oh, that's what's up.
That's probably my favorite thing we've ever done on this podcast.
That's interesting. I've learned a lot. I've learned a lot. I hope you guys did too.
All right.
Dang.
So now they're at this vegan place. Um, and so this vegan place, it reminds me of eating in Austin. I went to a place that was kind of like this, where everything on the menu was plant-based.
Yeah.
And it was disgusting. I got a burger. It was fucking gross. The fries, good. We got these cauliflower buffalo wings. Those are
Mhm.
actually really good too. But the burger, no ma'am. And then Rob also reveals, so he thinks that she's a vegan. She's not, and so they like leave, and then he reveals to her that he has a daughter, which to her is not a problem. Um, then they spend the night together. After that, Angie goes with Kate to the building site, and Steve's character, I think his name is Barry. He asks her if she wants to know what the secret to success is. So what do you? Because so Barry says that it's to have a big penis, but what do you think the secret to success is, Anthony?
uh, in today's age,
Yeah, having the antibodies.
yeah, having the antibody, wearing a mask, that's what it is.
Ooh.
The secret to success is having a mask and wearing it. That's all I had to say.
Then after that, Rob and Kate are starting to date. They like going out on cute little dates and whatnot. And so Rob comes over and accidentally meets Angie when he comes over too early. So she lies and she says that they're sisters, which is funny because it's like he says, or she says that they have different dads, but in a movie that came out a couple of years ago, Tina Fey and Amy Poehler did actually play sisters. So, there you go. Then Rob asks Kate if she would want to meet his daughter. And so she's like, yeah, let's move this relationship along. But in the same breath, as men always do, he fucks it up. He says that he thinks Sigourney Weaver's character is crazy and that he hates her favorite song. So instantly she's like, oop, maybe this isn't the one. And then we get to the baby shower where Rob finds out about the baby, that she's having a baby through a surrogate. But then Angie spills the beans about the baby actually being Carl's. They get into a little tiff. And then we get to the court hearing. I skipped a lot of stuff. I kind of like skipped to the bare bones at the end.
Yeah, it's fine.
Now we're at the court hearing, and we find out that Kate is not the mother. She runs out because she needed to well, first we think that's because she's emotional, obviously, but she actually threw up. And then when she's leaving, I guess she like meets up with Rob at the end, and they have like a cute little moment. And then she sees Angie when she's leaving, and Angie's water breaks while they wait for the bus. And I like too when they're running away, and she's like, "Should we clean that
up?" This next part is my favorite because they're on their way to the hospital, and Angie's like, "Yeah, I'm like surprisingly calm," and then it cuts directly to her screaming in the hospital.
Such good editing. And I think
perfect.
This scene is like my favorite scene of the whole movie. Yeah. Because she's screaming, she's pulling down this Christmas tree, and then she sees some guy and he is like laying like lifeless, and she's like, "Is he dead?"
Yeah, it's so funny.
And while she's having the baby, Kate faints, and we find out a little bit later it's because she's pregnant with Rob's baby. And then we jump to Stefani's first birthday, and they're all having a great time.
When she asked back at the hospital, when she asked her what the kid's name is, and she says Steph, and she's like, "Oh, like Stephanie." She's like, "No, like Stefani, Gwen Stefani." I don't know why that made me laugh so hard. I completely forgot about that, and then it just cut straight to Stefani's first birthday. So funny.
And a cute little ending. I think that's all I have to say about the movie.
When Barry walks by the doorman and he does that how do you describe that? I don't know what he does.
He does like the Wakanda thing.
He makes a cross with his like an X with his
that's like the
hands.
Wakanda thing.
But he like pats his chest. He's like,
but he does it to the doorman.
Yeah, he like leans towards him and does that, and then he like freaks out. The doorman jumps back, like looks around to see if anyone else saw it. And he's like, they didn't even need to add that. It's so random.
So funny though. God, so goddamn funny. I totally forgot about that. Yeah, I think when I watched it here too, I rewinded it because it was so funny.
Yeah, I had to watch it a couple of times.
All right, so some fun facts, and then we'll talk about overall stuff. So the first one is, in every scene she's in, Amy Poehler sports a different hairstyle and never repeats the same one twice.
I did not even know that. That's hilarious.
And next one about Amy Poehler is that she had her residence in Los Angeles professionally child-proofed by the real Boo Boo Busters, which is the one that did the child-proofing in the movie. At least 10 cast members would also appear in at least one episode of Parks and Recreation. Can you name all 10? I don't think I don't have how many, like who it actually was, but
Fred Armisen, for sure.
I think Jason Mantzoukas too.
Yeah, he does because he's friends with John Ralphio.
Yes, he's the cologne guy.
The waiter at the vegan place, he's Jam.
Yeah,
he's
Jam.
The dentist, councilman. Fred Armisen. Did I say Fred Armisen?
Yeah, you did. Will Forte. I don't think he was. Who else?
You gotta look this up.
Maybe
the doorman?
No. Maybe the coach for the The birthing class.
I
Oh,
don't know
and
about that.
then the guy that was the dad, he was in one of the surrogacy couples, the one that where it was the Wiccan. The dad
Oh
has
yeah.
sure been on that, but I think he's like one of the citizens.
No, yeah, he is. Oh man, that's a good question.
It didn't say. It just said it just had this fact and didn't say who it was talking about.
It didn't?
No.
Wow, now I gotta.
All
Man,
right.
that's
Well, while you
bothering
do
me.
that, Angie is terrified to read in the parenting book that babies can be born with a full set of teeth. While not common, 1 in 2,000 babies can be born with a full set of teeth, according to the National Health Institute.
Imagine. How do you breastfeed after that?
Oof. Very carefully.
That
And the
like
last
what?
the last one, Angie names her baby girl Stefani, but you never know what Kate ended up naming her baby girl, even though the baby appears at Stefani's birthday party,
Oh yeah.
which I did not know.
Yeah, I didn't know that either.
What do you think the name is? Probably something like old and white, like Mildred or something.
Mildred. Was it a boy or girl? Did they even say that?
It was a girl, yeah.
Shoot. I don't know.
Are you trying to look up the Parks and Rec thing?
Yeah. Maybe it's Tina.
No, I don't think she's. Oh, no. No.
I don't
I
know.
bet
It
it's
doesn't.
like side characters or something. But yeah, all right. Well, I mean, overall, I think this movie's funny. I think I there's a lot of things that if it was made now, I would change or I would kind of want like a different perspective. Like, I'm not gonna fault this movie because of the not only, I mean, it's not offensive, but like I feel like I would love this kind of story, but instead of like I didn't like at the end that she ended up magically getting pregnant
Mm-hmm.
because I would like a different I don't know what it would look like, but an alternative to that because I feel like I don't know, that was maybe for a comedy it wasn't too convenient, but it felt too convenient. But I would like that story of like motherhood that isn't just like actually having the baby yourself. Um but yeah, I like this movie though overall. I think it's really funny. It still holds up to the stuff that I used to love about it, and it was a great time.
Yeah, it's funny. I'm glad I picked it. All right. I got Dax Shepard is another one.
What? What?
Mm-hmm.
What is he in?
Parks and Rec.
No, he's not.
Yeah, he is. It says it on Wikipedia.
When?
When
There's no way.
uh television 2015, he was Hank Muntank. I don't know who that is, but don't even fret. I got you.
Are you doing it all right now?
um, nah. Oh, Will Forte is in it. Genuine, John Hamm, Nick Kroll.
So who do we have? Will Forte, Fred Armisen, Dax Shepard, the guy from Surrogacy, Jam. We have five.
How is there five more?
I'm
That's
telling you, it's
ridiculous.
probably background characters. Oh wait, Jason Mantzoukas. So we have now four more. I bet the lady that played the coach, the with the weird accent. I
That's what
bet
I'm
she's
looking at
on
right
there.
now. She's not. We gotta figure this out. I will not sleep.
Okay, but this is not interesting to our listeners. So,
You sure?
pretty sure.
Okay.
Unless you cut around this, which I know you won't.
No. Oh, the judge. Isn't he in Parks and Rec too?
Oh, maybe. Yeah, probably. So now two more. Or three more. I don't remember.
Three more.
Oh my god. All right.
Oh
Well,
no,
I'm going
he's
to move
not.
on.
That's so sad. He's not, man.
This is a project you can do outside of the podcast. All
Yeah.
right, so the next pick is mine. And I want to preface this with a little something. So, at the beginning of this year, which felt like so long ago, but I know we did like resolutions, and one of mine was that I wanted to watch movies that are not made specifically by white people or just of different point of views. And I feel like in my personal life and on this podcast, I haven't, for me to make a commitment like that, I haven't really done an amazing job of that. So I'm now like holding myself even like accountable, and I guess even more so than I did in January. And saying that and reminding myself that I need to continue to do that while we're halfway through the month or through the year. So yeah. That being said, this next movie is going to be on Netflix and it's called Tiger Tail. It's a movie that got a lot of attention before it came out, but then like I think months before when it was going through the festival circuit, but then I didn't really hear much about it. And I really want to watch it. So it's directed by Alan Yang, who is, I think he partners a lot with Aziz Ansari. I think he does a lot of like TV. He wrote and directed some episodes for Master of None. And I don't know if this is his first feature or not, but I think it's one of the first, if not the first. And the little synopsis for it is: a man reflects on the lost love of his youth and his long ago journey from Taiwan to America as he begins to reconnect with his estranged daughter. And this is based, I think, on his family. That's all I know for now. But I would like to show a movie. I think this is probably a movie that I guarantee a lot of people have not heard about. So I want to watch it, talk about it, and then we'll discuss what we think. So yeah,
Yeah,
on
I've heard of this movie.
Netflix. Yeah, I'm
I'm,
sure people have in some way, but I haven't heard about it again since. So I'm excited to watch it because I've never actually taken the time to see it.
I'm excited.
Tiger Tail on Netflix.
Cool.
And let us know too if you know movies like I've said before, I am always in a battle with the algorithms of these apps because they're not really great at showing movies that are not popularized already, which typically means movies that are made by people of color and black people and queer filmmakers. And so I want to like make sure that we're starting to highlight those so that we can do our part in making sure people watch them. So if you know of movies like this, then please let me know. Oh, and I want to shout out, hopefully they don't mind that I shout them out. Maybe if it's at the end, they won't mind. But we had a message from a listener, Marissa, and I wanted to thank her because I feel bad because she did give us an amazing movie that she wanted us to watch called Mother, which I think a lot of people, it's like, it was a pretty popular movie. The only thing is that it's not on streaming services. But I wanted to also say it on this podcast to hold myself accountable for whenever it does become available that we're going to watch it and talk about it. Because we want to actually like have our listeners be involved, and I don't want her to think that that we're not going to ever watch it because it's not available. But yeah.
Yeah. Man, that's the one with Jennifer Lawrence, right?
Yeah, and it's such a good movie that we could talk about, but it's just because like that's like the rule that we kind of gave ourselves that we want it to be accessible. So
Yeah.
that's the only reason why. But that is like whenever it does become available, we're watching it first thing.
Yeah, that's a wild movie. I'd love to talk about it too. Yeah, I saw that message, so thanks
Thank you,
for reaching
Marissa.
out.
Yeah. And anybody else, let us know. Hopefully on the Discord now it's easier to contact us, but you can always DM us too. If you know us personally, text us. And let us know what movies you want to watch. And also, you can be on an episode like we do with JT, or you can just give us a movie and we'll talk about it, like whatever you want to do. Or if you even want to be on just for a little bit, we're gonna just like let you decide what you want to do.
Even
Yeah.
if you just want to, I don't know, make us some outro music or intro music. I know I have
Oh
the film
yeah.
rail thing, but
And you'll be like, I think we don't have like a huge following, but you will be if you do make us music or you make us something for the podcast, especially music, we'll tag you in like everything we do
I will
and
shout your
every
name
and every
on the
episode.
street.
Well, and we'll have your name, we'll have everything in every episode, so it won't
Hall
be
of Fame.
unappreciated. Yeah.
The Hall of Fame.
Let us know. Or if there's a certain movie that we decide to watch and you want to make special like episode artwork for it, that would be cool too.
The
Wouldn't hate that.
sky's the limit. The
All
sky
right.
is the limit.
I think that's it. Do you have any last words?
Please wear a mask. Things are getting crazy again because people are not taking the right precautions. So just stay safe out there. I hope you and yours are being safe and stay safe. That's all I got.
All right. Bye.